So in this last factoring video, we're going to factoring using AC split, which is a different method of how to factor, and it kind of gives you a guarantee that you're going to get the answer every time. It is more of a procedure to how to get the two factors, or maybe more. Suggests that you can factor any given trinomial completely either using the box method, reverse distribution property, or the AC split method. Alright, so remember factoring. First thing you do is find the GCF. Make sure your leading coefficient is always positive. Your A right there. And then from there, you can use one of the three methods. You can choose your method. You are not required to use all three methods. You can pick which one you want. If you like this one, go for it. If you like using the box, go for it. And if you like this new method, and you want to use it every time, go right ahead. So again, you do not have to use this method, but you should become familiar with it. So factoring using AC split. First step is always factoring out the GCF. We do not have a GCF, so we are done with step one. So then you're going to find the AC. So remember, going back here, your A is next to x squared, and the C is just the number all by itself. We're not going to worry about the BX right here. So your AC. So your A is 2, and your C is negative 6. So we're going to find AC. In AC, you go 2 times negative 6, which is negative 12. If you haven't already, you should write everything down in this column. These are your steps. So we're done with that one. So the next step. Replace BX with factors of AC that add up to B. So then I'm going to look at negative 12. I want the two numbers that add up to negative 11. And through inspection, that is negative 12 and 1. So I'm going to replace big BX with that, because negative 12x plus 1x multiply together to be negative 12, but add up to negative 11. So I have 2x squared. Now I'm going to replace bx with what I got here, so negative 12x plus 1x, and then minus 6. So notice all I changed was the middle. I didn't change the first, and I did not change the last term. Alright, so that's step 3. So step 4. You group the first two terms together. And then you group the last two terms together. Grouping means putting parentheses around them. Then you're going to factor out the GCF from each group. So what is the GCF of these two terms, which is 2x? Okay, so the first part becomes 2x. Divide each by 2, I get x minus 6. Then I find the GCF of these two. Well, there isn't GCF, so I factor out a 1. So I have 1, and that's 1x, or x, minus 6. Here's where you actually know you did it right, is that these two should be the same. Because we're actually going to factor out the GCF one more time, because this is multiplying. Since they both have an x minus 6, I factor out an x minus 6 and a 2x plus 1. And that is my answer. Now, if you would use the box, you would get the same answer. If you would do your parentheses, you would get the same answer. This is only a method, another method of how to factor. It's more like a procedure, so those who like step by step, this is definitely for you. Alright, so let's practice a couple more of doing the AC split. So your first step is to find your AC, which is 2 and 6. Well, first step is GCF, there isn't one. So I go find my AC, which is 2 times 6, which is 12. Then I need to replace my BX, so 7x, I need to replace it by two factors of 12 that add up to 7x, which is 3 and 4. So 7x is 3x plus 4x. Now I'm going to rewrite what I had with replacing 7x. So I have 2x squared, and I still have the plus 6. But now, in the middle, I have plus 3x plus 4x. I could go plus 4x plus 3x, it doesn't matter. Then I'm going to group them together. I factor out the greatest common factor each one. This one has an x, so I take out an x. So So I get x plus 3. These are both divisible by 2. So I go take out a 2. And get 2x plus 3. Notice they have the same factor, which is how I know I did it right. So I get 2x plus 3, x plus 2. Alright, so on B, find the GCF. There isn't a GCF. So then I find my AC, which is 2 times negative 20, which gives me negative 40. So my BX, which is negative 3x, I'm going to figure out what factors of negative 40 that add up to negative 3. Let me think here. So we got 4 and 10. Alright, so our two factors are negative 8x and plus 5x. So again, I'm going to rewrite. I have 2x squared. I keep that the same. I keep my c term the same. And then I'm going to replace the middle. So instead of negative 3x, I have negative 8x plus 5x. Then I group and factor out what's in common. Factor out the GCF of each one. So I have 2x equals x minus 4 plus 5x minus 4. So you get factor out what's in common on both of these, which is x minus 4 and 2x plus 5. I am just going to do one more. So let's do D. Alright. So I want to find the GCF of these. So I'm going to divide out the GCF. So I have x squared. And then I rewrite what I have. Alright. So then from here, I find my AC. Now this just drags along. It's just like a little brother and sister. It just hangs out there. We don't touch it. So we have 3 times negative 8, which is negative 24. So I need to rewrite 10x. 2 here that add to negative 24, which is 12x minus 2x. Or negative 2x plus 12x, doesn't matter. So then I rewrite. I still have x squared out there. I just don't touch it. I get 3x squared. I rewrite my middle as plus 12x minus 2x minus 8. Alright. So then I want to group. I'm going to keep that negative sign with the negative 2. And factor out. So I still have x squared. It's just still hanging out there. Find the GCF of each one. So I get 3x. It's kind of still there. 3x. X plus 4 is what that divides to. These are both divisible by negative 2. Minus 2. X plus 4. Alright, so my two factors, or three factors in this case, we have x squared, what we pulled out initially, x plus 4, 3x minus 2. And that is my final answer. So review, again, you can use any method you like. If you're totally confused on what this video is, this is probably not the method for you. However, some of you may have liked this method, so you can use this method. Some of you guys like the box. Go for the box. Some of you just like to do the parentheses. That's easier for you. Go for it. Just make sure you always check to make sure you got it right. And then again, you always find the GCF first. Reminder to do reflections. You get credit for watching this video.